Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to your weekly reading for January 12th to the 18th. This is for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to jump right in. Aquarius, as always, the blue asterisk, the best aspects of the week. I hope you are strapped in. You are serious about your goals. You're networking. You're building out your Asana, your Monday.com. You're using your hands a lot. You're pointing at charts. You're pointing at workers. Do this, do that, because you're in Capricorn season. You're being a boss. You're being a boss, and you're riding the wave of last week's triple Kazemi. That was pretty huge, which included the Sun and Mars, who are still conjunct this week. Remember, these planets are traveling together. They're going to spill over into your side next week. But this week, they're leading up to this loaded weekend that's got 10 aspects and the new moon in Capricorn. And by the way, not everything's on the whiteboard. We're going to go over everything, though. But what really stands out about this week is that there is this really strong earth-water concentration. It's all earth and water, okay? When we're talking about the planetary aspects, yeah. Only 3 signs, which would be Capricorn, Taurus, and Pisces, which is really bonkers because this energy is so grounded, it's practical. You're going to be emotionally moved or emotional, right? But it's also earth and water, so there's little that, work, super well with you being an air sign. We will have the moon in Sagittarius, though. We'll talk about that for a second. You're going to love it. That's going to just really move things along for you, move the needle. But here's the thing. I kind of lied. Monday, January 12th, we do have the Sun, Venus, and Mars. Remember, traveling together, they're going to square Chiron in Aries. So there's another sign for you. You and Aries do really well together. Aries, being a fire sign as well. And we're going to talk about this more in the second spread. I just wanted to bring it to your consciousness. This is 3 planets squaring Chiron in Aries. And so the fact that Mercury will square Aries 2 days after this, or Chiron and Aries. Chiron is the wounded healer. Obviously, it's, old wounds that can be brought up to the surface. It could, when you feel a little bit powerless, and it's in your 3rd house, right? Aries rules your 3rd, which is communication, which means that there may be some words said. All right? So keep that in mind. There could be some emotional pressure points around this time, but the benefit here for you is that Capricorn energy is fearless, especially when you have a gaggle of planets in Capricorn. So should anything come up, it may be questioning your leadership skills. All right? It could be a circumstance. It could be people. It could be people within your family, because 3rd house is siblings. It's, distant relatives. It could be neighbors. But it's also maybe you're putting together, I don't know, a meta ads campaign. The 3rd house is advertising, it's PR, it's marketing, it's branding yourself. And you could just be really hard on yourself. So this is where you want to try different approaches. You want to change the way that you might see yourself if you're being hard on yourself. Maybe even reassess your values. It's Venus. There could be someone close to you, a friend, a mother, a female figure. It's Venus that could stir some things up with some words, but whatever happens here gives you the power to heal. Okay? And so just keep that in mind. Mars is also physicality. We're talking about the wounded healer here. So there could be something, there could be some bumps and bruises. All right? Just keep that in mind. I'm going to go a little bit deeper for you with this, because the fact that you do have a stellium in Capricorn, that is your 12th house. But anyway, just bringing that up, you got all that power within you. You got that power to heal. If someone questions you, your leadership experience, maybe you just got promoted to manager at Chick-fil-A, who knows? You never had this position before. There could be some employees who are like, you got this. It's Capricorn energy. All right, you're going to be serious. Now, anyway, oh, and by the way, yes, it will most likely have to do with career as well because the moon will be in Scorpio. You know about the moon in Scorpio if you're a subscriber. I talk about the moon in Scorpio, which has intensity to it, and Scorpio rules your 10th house of career. All right? A lot of leadership energy here where you may be questioning yourself. Just remember, this is a temporary moment. Now, and then again, that's the type of stuff we talk about in the second spread. The lunations, asteroids, planetoids. Tuesday, you will have the moon opposite Uranus, your ruling planet. There may be something here with home and family. It's in Taurus. Anyway, Wednesday, January 14th, you got Venus sextile Saturn. And then Thursday, you have Venus trine Uranus. So you got to see this as a package deal. They're happening concurrently. You're going to feel both of these aspects really strongly up to the weekend. That's how strong they are. And this would be a great example of divine timing because Venus was just reborn from last week's conjunction. And she also had a powwow with her cosmic lover Mars, also reborn and who is exalted. So they're both in tip-top shape. On a whole other level we haven't seen since December 1993. The last time we had the Sun, Venus, Mars, Mercury, and Capricorn. Anyway, Venus is meeting up with your two rulers. Saturn, your traditional ruler, and Uranus, your modern ruler. Now, here's the thing. Two things, actually. One, Venus is in Capricorn. She's all business. She's a little bit more formal in Capricorn. She's already met up with the Sun, with Mars, with the North Node by the end of the month. Oh yeah, she's going to conjunct Pluto in your sign. You know that. That will happen next week, okay? But before we get there, that's almost the entire solar system. She's been negotiating. So, the big thing here is Venus is in Capricorn. Capricorn rules your 12th house. So in a way, this is also healing for you because the 12th house is everything beyond the physical plane. It's spiritual. It's metaphysical. There's no borders, no boundaries. It's infinite, right? It's nebulous. It's imagination. It's creativity. It's also spirituality. It's also healing, okay? So the fact that your 12th house is activated with Mars, Venus, Mercury, the Sun, all in Capricorn in your 12th house, this is just beyond, right? This is literally, I mean, it's a whole other dimension. And so you can't really place things here because it is so spiritual. It is so, it's a place of rest and retreat. The 12th house is the subconscious. And so this is more of you preparing for your birthday season, having some moments of solitude, yeah, but you're still engaging. Venus is very social. The other thing is 12th house, it does rule like hospitals, okay? And so you could be healing in a physical sense as well. If you've been having any sort of illness, if you are a subscriber, you may know that I am an Aquarius. You may know the past 6 months I've had a lot of hospital visits, a lot of physical therapy. So that's what I'm talking about. There could be some things that you're finishing up here because we are getting to that new moon, right? But just bear that in mind. This is a lot of energy in your 12th house. And it can get to those lower expressions if you don't handle it well. And that would be self-sabotage, not facing your fears. It would also be like really isolating yourself from other people. And you don't want to do that because what is Venus doing? She's fattening your bank account, your Venmo. She's money. She's also love, right? She's also creative projects. She brings business deals. She's wearing a business suit. She's in Capricorn. She puts sparks in relationships, okay? And yeah, if you're single, she can bring you sliding doors moments with Uranus involved. But here's the thing. This is going to be anything that your heart desires, but it's going to be for you almost this visceral level with it being in your 12th house. Now, when I talk about money, when you've got Venus sextile Saturn, who's in Pisces, that's your second house of money and finances, there may be some true money matters here, okay? You could see solid potential and promise as long as you are committed. She's with Saturn, the planet of commitments, but he's in Pisces, so commitment with compassion, all right? Remember, he's a PE teacher this month, right? He's cool this month. But this is defining or even upgrading relationships or partnerships or working on a long-term project or handling your finances. There's something here that's got legs, it's stable, all right? It's definitely not a Rachel Ross, will they, won't they situation. You're in or you're out, right? The other thing is a sextile. There are windows of opportunity that reward effort, okay? Especially with Saturn involved, okay? He's going to stabilize things for you. He's going to build you that bridge as long as you just show up. And it's Venus sextiling Saturn. And she's charming, and she's magnetic, and she's social. And so this is great for you. Saturn is saying yes, whatever you want. Whatever you want here, especially when it has to do with, well, for you, self-worth, self-value, finances, money, but also healing, also spiritual quests, as well as business. It's all business. You could be starting a spiritual practice. There could be something that you're doing that's healing others. All right, that's that 12th house activity. So Saturn is saying, yeah, I'm going to build you that bridge for your goals and your long-term values. But you have to make sure it's realistic, it's practical, that there are boundaries, that you have a plan, okay? And with Venus trine Uranus, Uranus is in Taurus. Venus is the ruler of Taurus. She's at home here. She has sway. So of course, Uranus, your modern ruler, the planet of change and breakthroughs, is going to say, yeah, duh, yeah, I'm going to build you a door to that bridge. And all you have to do is open it, but do something different. You've had the same routine. I want you to shake things up. That's Uranus. When it comes to money, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to home and family, and real estate, okay? Go shake things up. Be innovative. Be authentically you and evolve. And I'll give you the keys. And I'll give you security. And maybe you'll have this big financial breakthrough because Taurus is a sign of finance. So you see how you, Aquarius, have money stuff across the board here. You could have sudden opportunities and you won't know until you take action. All right? You want a rich boyfriend? Go take a lift to Soho House. You just got to put yourself out there. That's all you got to do. All right? You know, it's Uranus. So it's all about the unexpected and just shaking things up. And as you know, you don't want to resist change. Uranus wants change. And Capricorn season, sure, it's all about growing up, but it's also outgrowing things. So as long as you think outside the box and most importantly, initiate change around this time, there is great potential here with money and relationships and new relationships as well. And again, home, family, creative projects, whatever you want. It's right there. You have the planet of money and values and the sign of money and values. And Saturn in Pisces in your second house of money and values. So, yeah, Saturn's going to make what you want long lasting. You're going to feel a shift in your values. So go open that door, right? Open the door for that bridge that's halfway built. Whatever happens around this time can truly be life-changing, all right? And by the way, as I was saying, the moon in Sagittarius, both days here, both days. Sagittarius rules your 11th house of your future hopes and aspirations and long-term goals and dreams, because you are the ruler of the 11th house. So you are going to feel extra adventurous, extra spontaneous, changing your worldview. You're going to want to go explore. It's very happy-go-lucky. You're going to be taking risks, and I encourage it. Now, if you are a cross-watcher, if you watch for your rising or your moon or for your boss at Chick-fil-A, it doesn't matter. Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and I'm throwing in the water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, will feel these aspects the most. If you have planets 26 to 29 degrees in any of those signs, you're going to feel it the most. Those planets will be aspected, and you're really used to it at this point because this has been happening for about a year now. Friday, January 16th, we'll talk about it in the second spread. Now, well, I'll tell you, fine. Mars is going to square not only Chiron, but also Eris, Mars' sister, the goddess warrior. And so there's a little bit of sibling rivalry here. Am I right? The wounds can go a little deep here. And we'll talk about the second spread, but it's just really a point where you're going to ask yourself, it's probably best that you build bridges, not burn them. All right. Now, Saturday, January 17th. This is when you're strapped in. All right. This is going to be big. You got on January 17th. Well, first you got Venus sextile Neptune, right? That's going to bring in tons of opportunities, romance and compassion and the arts and your dreams. It really is this really happening energy, because it is spiritual, it is magical, it is inspiring, and Neptune is in Pisces as well. And so you got the planet of money in your second house of money. There's something here. Again, there's money stuff, but in a creative way. Are you doing something creative? Is there a creative project that you're working on? It's Neptune and it's Venus. So keep that in mind, especially if you're an artist. This is such a great day for artists. Now, you also have the sun, this high frequency vitamin D that's going to sextile Saturn and trine Uranus, just the way Venus did. Remember, they're traveling together. They're doing the same thing. Now, the sun is a life force. It's the way that you express yourself. In this weekend, you're going to have this presence, especially with the sun sextile Saturn, which only happens twice a year. We'll have it again June 2nd, but it's going to be a very different experience. Because Saturn's moving into Aries. But here's the thing. This day, you could have opportunities for leadership roles. You could feel extremely optimistic with your goals. Your determination could be through the roof. And with Venus, the sun trine Uranus now, twice a year, right? The next time will be September. And that'll be very different because Uranus will be in Gemini. But when you've got the sun trine Uranus, you will be a lot more open to change, to taking those risks, to experiencing breakthroughs. That feeling of feeling stuck is gone. It's like your brain discovered a whole new batch of endorphins. You're going to want to try new things. You're likely going to see opportunities are up for grabs around this time. Just remember, you've got to make those changes. You've got to shake up your routines, especially in home and family. That's what it's asking of you, or just like the foundations of your life. And remember, the sun is in Capricorn, so still work energy, but it's also your 12th house. Very spiritual energy, but it's the sun. You're going to have this feeling of, well, I've got one life to live. I'm going to make the rest, the best of these moments. Anything is possible. It's like that type of optimism that you're going to have, but also that drive. All right. So remember, it's just across the board just these 3 signs. So a lot of emphasis on home and family, money, your values, your sense of self-worth, even material possessions as well. And then also just spiritual energy, your subconscious, you're going deep, you're having your moments. And then remember, Mercury will conjunct Mars. So that's sharp. It's grounded energy, it's strategic planning. You're likely going to make some announcements, some big decisions, but you will be walking the walk, talking the talk. Your shoulders back. Just remember, this is strong. This aspect, try not to be too bossy or assertive. That's just what this is, right? So you're going to be fine. You're in your 12th house. So you're going to be good. You're going to be very spiritual. But the only reason I say this is because the moon is already in Capricorn at this point. And the moon in Capricorn is very no nonsense. However, you see that Venus is moving into your sign, all right? Which is amazing. So now you're moving into this fun, loquacious, dreamer mode. Yeah, it's nicer. It's in your sign. It's all about you. Venus is a lot more free in your sign than Capricorn, right? This is when you dream big. You're still grounded. You still dream big. It's all about what's possible now. It's you having stimulating thoughts and conversations. You're in your comfort zone. You're embracing your unique, eccentric side. It's all about, being that, right? Marching to your own drumbeat rather than being traditional. It's standing out for that. It's friendships. That's a priority for you. And rather than pointing at things and people and being the boss, you're collaborating. That's Aquarius energy. And Venus is here for the rest of the month. This is when you care less about power and instead you question it. Because Aquarius isn't just the rebel, right, of the zodiac. Aquarius is humanity. It's the collective. Your values shift toward the greater good for all. Now, Sunday, January 18th, you got the new moon in Capricorn. 29 degrees, 28 and some change, 3 p.m. Everything that you've been working on or that you've been harnessing spiritually toward your goals and your legacy, well, here's your big moment. This is it. As long as you have conviction, remember it's a Saturn-ruled new moon. And Mars conjunct Mercury, yeah, that's baked into this new moon. And you got the moon that's going to be trining Uranus and Taurus. Yeah, there's some home and family stuff here that's going to be happening for you. And it's going to be sextiling Neptune and Pisces. Yeah, there's going to be creative projects. Yeah, there's going to be maybe some money making with creative projects. You're probably going to sell crystal earrings of tigers on Etsy. It doesn't matter. That's a money maker right there for you. But with everything that I just said, you have a mini grand trine of a new moon in Capricorn. So, this new moon is not a typical new moon. This new moon is getting a surge of energy from Mars, Mercury, Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus. And these energies are unfolding into the week after, where you already have nearly a dozen potent aspects in your sign. Like, this is the new moon heard around the world. This is a big one because you also have Saturn sextile Uranus the very next day. And remember, those are 2 outer planets. You're already feeling it over the weekend. And once again, those are your 2 rulers in your house of family and home and your house of money and finances and material possessions. You got Venus in Capricorn, so you're thinking about buying this beautiful couch to bring into your home. Okay? Something like that. But there's something really, truly brewing up for you around this time where you may break from tradition. You're moving into your birthday season the next day. C'est la vie, all right? And I talked about this in your January forecast, how this is a last of its kind new moon, a true ending and new beginning. And a lot of it, yeah, but there's so many reasons why. But again, these planets are spilling over into your sign, okay, next week. And it's such a stark difference between traditional, structured Capricorn and all about the future and free Aquarius. You're gonna feel the difference, all right? This is a new moon, by the way, that's all about your foundations, your career, your legacy. Saturn, Capricorn's ruler, and yours, right? It's gonna make sure that you're focused and that you're realistic and take your goals far, because Mercury will trine Uranus. That is going to completely expand your consciousness. It makes you just incredibly open-minded, okay? And more experimental. Remember, Mercury is the lower octave of Uranus. They work well together. They help you innovate. This is stimulating. This is going to bring unexpected news and announcements and breakthroughs and awakenings. Good ones. It's a sextile. Remember, you got to make that happen. You have to take advantage. So please set intentions, make executive decisions, make big moves, lock things in, be the author of your story. Where do you want to be in July for the corresponding full moon in Capricorn? Like I said, this is more than a new moon. It's a portal. You have incredible potential here. All right? Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and water signs will feel this the most. If you have planets 27 to 29 degrees in any of those signs, yeah, you're gonna feel this. And honestly, if you've got Venus in your sign at this point, she's got to be at what, 1 degree, very close to Pluto, is at 3 degrees in Aquarius. So if you're in Aquarius, if you're an early Aquarius, if you were born January, the first 4 or 5 days of January, you're gonna feel it too. So let's get started, like strongly. Let's get started. Let's see what's going on for you, Aquarius, for January 12th to the 18th for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Aquarius, you make me smile. Let me see. Okay, thank you. Oh, look at that. I had a candle burning for you and everything. I do a traditional Cultic Cross spread, offers the best overview, and if we need to pull clarifiers, especially for a weekly reading, and this is just so jam-packed, and I was going to say, yeah, if we need to pull clarifiers, you know that we will, Aquarius. You know I got you. You know I do. Come on. I'm going to do something for you, actually. I'm going to do something fun. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to do something. And you know I love it. All right, let's get started. Team Aquarius, yeah, this is it. This is it. Oh, there's about 6 cuss words I want to say right now. This is it, okay? I'll just do this instead. You're good. You're really good. I think that this is going to be a pretty big game-changing week for you, Aquarius. Oh, there's so much joy and hope and wisdom and calm. Oof. You see all this yellow, all this blue. Anyway, 7 of Swords. So, first things first. You got to be honest with yourself. You have to be honest with yourself. And that's part of this 12th house activity, right? The fact that you've got 4 planets in your 12th house, which is the subconscious, it's, again, like maybe some fears that you have to confront, fears that you have to face. I already told you, you got the moon in Scorpio the first 2-3 days of this week. That's exploring your shadow side sometimes. You've got 3 planets square Chiron and Aries in your 3rd house of the mind. So you may have the beginning of the week moving into this week, or even last week, some things that came up or you had a lot on your mind. A lot of unrooting. It's like getting rid of the weeds, right? Or unplugging them, or however you call it. But that's the thing with that 7 of Swords, which is your card. Yeah? It's attributed to Moon in Aquarius. You know where the moon goes after the new moon in Capricorn? It goes into your sign. And so things are illuminated. You got to illuminate things. And you have to ask yourself, am I being honest with myself about certain things? Okay? The other thing is, if you there may be some things you're going to have to say. Okay? With a week like this, with all these chironic aspects in your 3rd of communication, there may be some things you're going to have to say. You're going to have to say them diplomatically. Don't hold things in. But there is an element of like facing your truth here. Okay? You do that, you're going to be fine. You're going to be good. And a lot of this has to do with, there may be a little bit of fear. Remember, fear is fiction, but just for the sake of this sentence that I'm saying, there may be a little bit of fear moving into something that you know is changing for you. Your life completely changing. You've got the world in the heart of your spread. The world is attributed to Saturn, your traditional ruler, by the way. Saturn in your 2nd house. Self-worth, self-value, Saturn in Pisces. He's only going to be here for another month. Remember, he's moving into Aries in your 3rd. This is the end of the major arcana, the fool's journey. You're done. You're done. You're ready for this new. You want it. You want it. And so this is really great. Everything changes now. Everything. And that's so on brand with what's happening right now as you move into this brand new era, into your birthday season. That's going to be the most unforgettable birthday season you've had perhaps in your lifetime. You have a 5-planet conjunction that is not normal. It's not normal at all. And so, anyway, and then you have that new moon solar eclipse in your sign right before the Saturn-Neptune conjunction. That'll be in February, but even still, everything's changing. You're here. You know that, right? You got the 4 fixed signs here. You see the dancing figure dancing for a reason. This is a great time to be proud of yourself. Okay? You may even get some recognition here, right? And so, I mean, you are in Capricorn season. But whatever the case is, just know there's something truly coming to the end. Like, if your life was a trilogy, it would be you moving on to the 2nd book. All right? This isn't a chapter. This is the 2nd book. So be proud of yourself. All right? And you see the wreath shaped as a 0. You see the Ouroboros, the ribbons, right? Hidden in those ribbons. Anyway, yeah, there's the 0 representing, referencing the Fool. Heard 0. Anyway, you're on a new journey. You got the Page of Pentacles. Challenge area. Pay attention to money, finances. That's all you got to do this week. All right? Remember, it's going to be a big theme for you. And it might have to do with what is happening moving forward into this next chapter. You really want to have your eyes on the prize. You don't want to drop this ball. You don't want to drop this pentacle. All right? And secondly, there may be someone in your life who I would ask yourself, do I really trust this person to handle finances, money? They could be, they could drop a few coins here and there, that type of thing. Okay? just keep that in mind. But just don't lose inspiration either. Some of y'all are waiting for something to arrive as well. Remember, a lot of this week is you taking that action, you making things happen. It's Capricorn energy. Sleeves literally rolled up, right? Wheel of Fortune in your crown. Yeah, amazing. That's absolutely amazing. You got the only 2 cards in all of tarot where you have the 4 fake signs in the corners of the wheel and the world. I mean, that's really great. They're fixed signs. They're a fixed sign. And it really is just saying, yeah, there's this stability moving forward. That's what this week is with, all this Capricorn energy. But Wheel of Fortune, wow. So it's almost like when I talk about all this spiritual energy, it's so strong there. It's so strong, okay? When you got 4 planets there this week in your 12th house. And then you have the Wheel of Fortune in your crown. And this is attributed to Jupiter. It's luck. It's fortune. It's also this sense of maybe, I don't know which way the wheels are turning, but at least they're turning. At least they're turning, right? And so this is really great. This is wonderful. It's this jackpot energy. And you do have, remember, Jupiter exalted in Cancer. There may be, you just have work stuff. There's a lot of changes that are happening at work for you this week. And pets, you may be getting did you get a new pet? You should have, a lot of y'all got new pets or thinking about it this month. The other thing is you got the Chariot and the root of your spread, which is attributed to Cancer. But this is just, you've got it deep down inside you. You're ready to just, let's go. Let's do it. That's the energy of this week anyway, right? So go for it. Go for it. This is having all that willpower. What we talk about, the sun and Capricorn, sun sextiling Saturn and trining Uranus, doing things, shaking things up. But this is you learning everything that you did on your journey so far. New things that you've picked up and really like embracing those energies. All right? And so that's what life is. It's a journey. It's always a journey. It never ends. You're going to keep going and keep going. You're going to be learning new things. It doesn't matter what industry you're in, what job you have, how old you are. You're constantly learning. And that's a lot of this Chariot. That's what fuels him. You can even see this he's got the Magician's baton, right? From the Magician, card 1. You see the crescent moon on his shoulder pads. Yeah, he's wearing them. From the High Priestess, you see the lingam and the yoni here from the Lover's card. So it's just through your experiences, they empower you. They give you that drive to move forward. So vroom, vroom. Yeah? Vroom. You got the 6 of Cups in your future. I actually just did an intuition course, and I spoke a lot about energy, vibration, frequency. Obviously I brought up Nikola Tesla, and who was always harping on 3, 6, 9, 3, 6, 9. Well, 3 is creation, 6 is harmony, 9 is completion, fulfillment. But I really love this because this card has so much love and tenderness and kindness. It's all about sharing, opening yourself up to other people because you can, okay? It's the biggest house in tarot, indicating comfort and security and protection. You're going to be good. You're moving into this place of comfort. And for a lot of y'all, literally moving. Literally moving. But then a lot of y'all, it just emotionally, all right? It's like even you can consider this as a rites of passage right here. It is clear as day, but I love that. And this card is actually attributed, it's a Scorpio card. So a lot of y'all, this is going to be career. We are in Capricorn season. So very interesting. So it's opening yourself up to maybe colleagues or employees or contractors or whatever it is, but it's still just being emotionally moved. All right, let's get to your stuff. Aquarius, y'all, come on. What? If you like this reading, it would be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments, all of that fun stuff. Team Aquarius, we're in it to win it. We got each other. Yeah. I love y'all. All right, let's stop. Don't. All right, you're good. You're really good here. I can't even. What is going on? You did get the world last week, didn't you? In your final outcome. Look how far you've come. It's in your main spread. You got the Eight of Pentacles too. Look at you. You're going like. There you go. You were working. You got your eyes on the prize. This is you whistling while you work. You're making things happen here, okay? This is you putting in that energy, putting in that effort. And that's just exactly what you want to do this week, okay? It's great. Because this is just saying you want to transform your life and you want to reach your legacy. That's what he's doing, right? And he's going to, because he's so focused and he's diligent and he's successful. And he's the Eight of Pentacles. He is going to make it. But what he does here, there is an element of doing it for community. Doing it as service to others. All right? Whether it is your team or your family or humanity, right? You have that Ace of Swords. Look at you and your big old breakthrough. You're going to have breakthroughs. You've got the Sun and Venus with Uranus and Mercury with Uranus all this week. You're going to have breakthroughs. All right? It's coming. This could be a really big contract that comes through. Again, you've got the crown here. This is victory. It's success. There could even be mediation energy as well. Like you're making up with people, with friends or colleagues. But ultimately, it's having this huge mental breakthrough. And so, wow, there's so much to look forward to. It's in your external factors area. It just feels like it's just going to happen naturally. I love it. That's a lot of power too. That Ace of Swords. Ace is bringing these new opportunities, new beginnings. You got that Nine of Cups, the card of complete satisfaction. And again, a sense of just being proud of yourself. Like, what did I say earlier? Like, look how far you've come. Think about where you were last year. Think how, even this summer, look how far you've come. So this is really great. You have two cards that have to do like a lot, that have like a lot of hope in it. So there's this optimism that you're really going to feel the buzz off the sun, sextiling Saturn and trine Uranus. And then lastly, you have the Page of Wands. So it looks like there is something truly coming through in your final outcome. I mean, there you go. Is it love? Maybe. Is it a new job? Maybe. Is it you launching your own thing? Maybe. Is it you just going after a passion? Maybe. It's wherever you put that energy, but it's right there. It's right there. It's in your final outcome. And again, pages, they bring in this fresh new energy. They have so much enthusiasm. Look at him. Come on. He is not going to let go of that wand. He's going to turn that into something huge, ginormous. Look at him in that little desert landscape. There's a reason why. Look at the leaves sprouting from that wand the week of this outer stellar new moon in Capricorn, where things will grow. He can turn that desert landscape into this lush, verdant garden oasis of his passions. It just takes that action. Wands are action. Wands have this spirit of fire. You're going to feel it within you. That's a lot of passion right there. He wants to transform his life. Anyway, you've got some great new things coming in as you turn over, not the page, but the book. All right. Oh yeah. What I was gonna do. Well, okay, I'll do it here. I was gonna do just like a card, just kind of like a. This is also what we do in the bonus spread sometimes, but I want to see something. I want to see what is the biggest message for Aquarius for this week. I'm using Tarot of the Divine. Oh yeah, look at you. The Three of Pentacles. This is all about what I say about 369, right? 369. This is all about creation, all right? Creating something, but that requires teamwork. So effort and teamwork, working with others. And there is this just bonding experience that comes with a package, but this is really great. And this is saying that there's very possible a new job, a new something on the horizon that has to do with finances. I told you it's a big week for finances. And even if not, Pentacles are your physical realm, your physical world. So like I said, you could be creating something with your family. There could be something here that's really nice that's in your material world. It could be a relationship. There's so much opportunity here. I love this. Okay. Anyway, you're good. You're great. You're good. There's so much like endings, new beginnings, endings, new beginnings, endings, new beginnings. Aquarius, thanks so much. Next week, you know, it's happy birthday, right? We're moving into our birthday season. And then Pluto's off the bench. He's going to have all those conjunctions. And then you've got Saturn, Sextile, Neptune. You got a 5-planet conjunction. It is not going to be a boring week. And for the second spread, yeah, we're going to do a spread just on the new moon. We're going to isolate that. We're going to pull more cards. And I'll tell you, we'll walk through these chironic aspects. And there's a lot. And even the lunar aspects, like the moon in Scorpio, again, it really is about love, money, and career for you, and sex. Anyway, Aquarius, thanks so much. I'll see you next week. Bye bye.